Yes.
Let's see it. 7:30. Let's see. First thing is approved from minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a quorum, by the way? 1, 2,
4,
3, 4. We
5.
need one more person.
5. No, we have 5.
Have 5 now? Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Does anyone have any comments about the minutes?
Nope.
Nope.
We have a motion to approve
I
them.
make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moving on, we haven't received any communications this month. So with that, is Dan Heaney on the line?
No, I haven't seen her yet.
Okay.
She may be
Right.
delayed. Who knows? Children, you know.
Don't worry about it. Let's just talk about the Treasury report. Gary can't be on at the moment. The key thing is, as we approach June 30th, the end of the fiscal year, we have anything we want to spend for this year's budget has to be spent by June 30th. And in addition to that, the receipt must be submitted by June 30th. Now, tonight, I know we've got 2 bits of expenditure, but Mayor is handling those. So I think we're going to have to hold off on that. Essentially, at this point, we have $1,610 in the budget, so we actually have enough to pay for everything that Mayor is asking. Okay, the status of the Cornwall map, Bianca?
Yeah, so we have the graphics are all done. Tomorrow I'll meet with Kara once more to just go over a few numbers that needed to be changed around, and then I hope that it should be printed by next week.
Good.
And that's basically it.
Okay. Someone has their television on, I think, or someone chatting in the background. Okay. Now the next thing was, and again, this was really Gary, but have we signed up with the Sharon Playhouse to advertise Cornwall? Does anyone know?
I have no idea. Wouldn't that have been Neil?
I thought Gary was looking into that, but anyway,
Right.
I'll follow up with Gary and Neil. Moving on, the next thing was the update on the business roundtable, Mayor. But Duncan, you also wanted to make a few comments there, right?
Right.
Yes, so just to report to the group, we have a roundtable scheduled at the Union on June 28th at 4 p.m. Kate Freigang has organized a woman from the state Sustainable CT office. I'm not sure if she's participating live or via Zoom, but we're having a session and we're trying to get the word out to local businesses. So we've got a notice in the Chronicle, and then Bianca and Mayor have offered to sort of send out some kind of a blast when we're a little bit closer to the event. But it'll be an hour-long session that introduces Cornwall businesses to the Sustainable CT program and tries to get them engaged in some discussion around sort of practical elements of that. The whole program is very complicated and it's very bureaucratic, and there's lots of stuff that really doesn't help or apply in our community, but there are some good ideas in there. We just need to sort of find what's valuable from the program that can be applied to our local businesses and see if the businesses respond to that.
Okay, good. We should certainly, as many of us as we can, should definitely try to get that for that. So thank you very much. Was there anything else on the information kiosks, Bianca, you wanted to talk about?
I think Mayor had talked with Megan Heaney and actually had mock-ups, and if I knew how to finagle to bring those
Okay,
up,
let's
I
wait.
would. But
Let's
she
wait.
has created 2 signs for above these kiosks that
Right.
exist in order to indicate them as such, because really they you could be driving by and not seeing them. And Mayor had a point that they need to be sort of be more prominent. And there is Mayor. She'll talk to it in a second. Hi, Mayor. Hallelujah. Hi, Mayor. She's muted. Mayor, we're talking about the signs on the information kiosk. Thank God you are there.
In the nick of time.
I'm sorry to say I'm on literally a street corner in Brooklyn, so you might not hear me so well. Hold on. I'm about to get into a car. You can hear me fine? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not usually on my phone. The street signs, I mean, the signs for the kiosk, yes.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Talking about enslaved African Americans, and he's saying that in the state constitutional convention that he doesn't want white men who don't.
Okay, sorry, I am here. I'm in a taxi, literally in a taxi.
All right. We were just talking about the signs for the information kiosks. If you remember at the last meeting, we had a discussion about those. Gordon pointed out there is actually a sign, the old petrol station sign indicating its information.
So I sent you and Bianca a photo of a mock-up that Danielle had sent.
Right.
Right. So for $300 per kiosk, we can have just a very nice looking, she tried to match the style of the covered bridge and just like a big sign above that says visitor information. But he's still so. Sorry, my family is in the same taxi with me, so there's like noise.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think it's a little tough for the rest of the commission. Bianca, can you put that up on the screen? Are you smart enough to do that?
Let me. Am I? Yeah, that's questionable.
Maybe I have to do it.
Hold on a second. I have to find. No.
You want to go out?
I don't know where.
Bianca, I think I sent it. Okay, give me a minute and I'll try to pull it up, but I think I just sent it yesterday even. But give me a second, I'll send it to you. Hold on.
And what Dr. King was trying to say is that the beautiful words of the Constitution are not being applied to Black people.
Whose music or noise is that? Somebody left their TV on or something?
Yeah, I mean, so in the intro,
yeah, Priscilla, I think your TV is blending in from the background.
Thank
you. And we're working on getting Danielle here. She's in the middle of the baby thing, and we're sending her the link. Anyway,
Hey,
that's just,
I'm sorry, I'm away from a computer, but if Danielle comes on the phone, she will also have the mock-up. But I'm gonna keep looking for it while I'm on mute.
And I'm looking for my,
it's
Yeah,
under
I-
meetings and agendas.
I didn't see it, so I'm confused.
It's not, you know what, Simon and Bianca, I think I sent it, which is why I can't find it on my phone. I think I
Right.
sent it from the EDC email. So if you log into I mean, if you search your inbox for EDC, you might find it that way. I honestly can't access it from my
Yeah, I
personal phone.
right. I have so many emails that
I have it.
oh, good. Hallelujah.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold it up. Everyone see this?
Fantastic. A little over to the left. Nope. Right, maybe right.
Yeah.
You're right.
She-
And up, a little up. Yes.
And so she gave us two options with like just simply saying visitor information, which I think is probably sufficient, or map and visitor info or something like that. So that's why there's two options.
I would take the first one, visitor information. Too hard to read the second one.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, and you said there's an estimate of $600 for that?
Yeah, but it's for kiosk, so 600 for the two. Yep.
Okay. Does anyone have any thoughts on this?
I think they are needed in order to indicate the kiosks as such.
Right.
And I'd like to make a motion to approve the finances for that.
I second that.
Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, approved. And Bianca, while we're talking about that, you also wanted 400 to 450 for the for music and arts this year. Is that right?
I think that's mayor, right?
Yeah. So we had voted on last meeting for up to $400 for music and arts, and I
Yep.
did get a few requests. I got a $100 request for adding music to the Grumbling Griffins performance. I know that so Frank is gonna have a party on the patio on Cornwall Day from 5 to 7. Bianca and Mike at Three Guys are also planning music in the afternoon. So I propose that we just divide that 400 between those four businesses that are supporting Cornwall Day and want to add music to the agenda. So that 400 is sort of already accounted for, which I think is a good thing. And the only thing I wanted to add, which maybe is a new proposal, but was because it sort of like fell into place as it did, perhaps we can add another 100 to 150 for the child, for the kids' arts and crafts activity that Isley has. I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure on it all yet, but Isley has said that she would be happy to do an arts and crafts activity on
Okay.
Cornwall Day.
Which would take us up to that was about 600.
Probably getting close to 600. I don't have the exact estimates for the arts and craft activity yet, but at least another 100. So at least another 100 for that.
Okay, but we approved 400 last time.
Mhm. Yes.
So if it's going to be 600, we need to approve up to another 200.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone have any thoughts on this they want to bring to the attention?
I would just say I think always investing in music and the arts is a worthy investment. So I support it. But
And the children too,
And
I
the
think it's always nice to have kids' activities too,
yeah,
to keep them, happy and occupied and have good memories about their childhood in Cornwall, right? I mean, I think those are like always those cornerstones that lead people back to this area eventually.
I
May
agree.
take 40, 50 years, but you know, I think it's
I
important
think
to build
that's
those.
right. Thank
So I-
you, Chris and Bianca. I think that one other thing for the other commissioners to know is that there's sort of a nice flow developing with Cornwall Village in the morning that has, of course, the farmers market, and they're adding music, which is part of the $100 for the music in Cornwall Village. And then there's sort of like a flow coming into the afternoon, more activities in West Cornwall and Cornwall Bridge. So we're also just paying attention to making sure that, like, you know, the support is sort of distributed evenly, which I think is important as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Can I have a proposal to authorize the expenditure of up to $200?
I'll make a motion to approve the $200 for additional funds for the arts.
Second.
Priscilla will second. Priscilla, you're still on the commission, right?
No,
I don't know if I am or not. I sit in on all the meetings, so if I'm not supposed to vote, I take it back.
Yeah, I have a feeling you may not forgive me.
Problem, no problem.
I'll second that one. All right, we just ought to check that, Priscilla.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's done. Now, Mel, while we've still got you, do you want anything you want to update us on there with regard to the business roundtable?
So we had the third meeting about Cornwall Day on Monday morning, and I think we're pretty much set, which is great because the next roundtable meeting will be about sustainable CT.
Mhm.
Um,
On the 20th,
and
right?
yeah, and so we'll send out a communication about that one. I think at this point for Cornwall Day, we just need sort of the final plans from the businesses and, you know, start the promotion and the printing of the materials. So the meetings have been very positive. There's been an exchange of different ideas, which there always is, and that's a good thing too. You know, but we're definitely, Cornwall Day will have participating activities and organizations from each of the three centers, I guess we could say. As we know, there's more than one more than one Cornwall. So but I think it's all falling into place, and it's been a really positive thing
Good.
to have these roundtable meetings. Yeah.
And you also raised the question of whether minutes and the agendas for those meetings should be stored, whether they're
Yes, I forgot to ask Gordon about that on Monday morning, honestly. So I'm not sure if he has an opinion about that or if he's on this call already tonight. I know sometimes oh no, he is on the call.
no, he's on the call.
Yeah. So
Need a little
I've been
wisdom there.
taking minutes and sharing them with just the business community who's showing up, but you know, if they need to be public record, that they're available to share with the town.
That would be great, Mayor, if you could just send them off to Vera and then she would log them in the appropriate spot, hopefully.
Okay, I will do that.
They can also be posted. There's a section for minutes and agendas on the website. And they can just go up there as a meeting of the subcommittee. Basically just time, date, and participants and any action taken.
Okay, I will send them to Vera. Yep,
Great.
thanks.
Terrific. And the last question, Mayor, is do you know what the status of the advertising for Explore Cornwall through the Sharon Playhouse brochures is? I know that was Neil's responsibility, but you know.
Yes, we did in the 11th hour. Neil managed to get the appropriate design over to Sharon Playhouse, so that is all set. I'm not sure what the print date is, but it's set. It's got included in the Sharon Playhouse program, so that's good.
Yeah, thank you. Well done. Good. And with that, let's turn to Gordon. Can you give us an update?
Sure. Welcome. I'm here with Raj, who's visiting the farm from He's a student, an economics student at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. He's currently applying his talents to the profitability of farming in Northwest Connecticut. So, and he's helping us with some technical things tonight. So it's great to have him here, taking some notes. So he's looking for information on local economic development in Connecticut. So just a few other things. Thanks again to Mayor for piloting this the ship of Cornwall Days to its successful birth. I think, yeah, I like the scope of the offerings and the variety of things that are going to be going on. I think it will be a very good show for the town. So do the dogs, I guess. Let's see. A couple of economic updates. We have continued to make progress on the West Cornwall wastewater project. We're hopefully concluding the economic report by a separate engineer by mid-June, and then it has to get reviewed by the federal government. Then hopefully we can start the design phase after we get the sign-off from the feds. Talked today with a possible tenant of some of the newly to be renovated space in the Pink House. They have a couple of retail spots there, so it looks like they may have someone with an interesting business going into some of that space. Again, just a question of getting the permits approved, but it seems pretty straightforward. So that'll be exciting. Had talked to Jane Harold at her shop about trying to get a little bit of a conversation going late summer with Mohawk to try to anticipate the coming season and trying to get some of the more interplay between the Mohawk and the other businesses in town, and again reinforce our efforts to promote them as an anchor business in town. So that's Jane's input, which I think is a good idea. And what else did I have? I think that's oh yeah. So then we're continuing to support little Shrink's office efforts to get the market open. He was scheduled to meet, do some final work there. So again, a June, July timeline looks realistic. And in the meantime, there may be a food truck on site there to get a little, little buzz happening in Cornwall Bridge. I know there, some of the other stores are definitely seeing a downturn in business without a market there, but I think it may be also partially less vehicle traffic generally in the area. But he is determined to get things going, and of course that'll be exciting event to have that going again. So a lot of, I think a good amount of activity of people trying to make things happen. So all good, all positive. So
good. Any further progress on the tax sales?
We're getting we're getting there. We haven't set a date or firmed anything up, but we've what should I say? We've redoubled our legal efforts to get things sorted out there. Some of the specifics I can't really go into, but it's about as murky as you can imagine, and someday it'll be an interesting report on to the people on how we pulled that off. But again, I think there's a real possibility that those properties will go up for some sort of tax sale in the next 6 months.
Thank you.
Simon, we have Steve and Danielle Heaney now here. So
Hi, thanks for joining us. Does anyone, before we go to Danielle, does anyone have any further questions for Gordon? You got off lightly tonight, Gordon. Thank you very much. Danielle, Bianca, do you want to introduce Danielle and let Danielle tell us about her business?
Right. So Danielle and Steve just recently have started their business down in Cornwall Bridge, Thunder Horse Creative. And Steve, what you do something similar? It's signs, graphics, embroidery, and I just recently got new Cornwall baseball caps in, actually today, hand delivered by Danielle. So I would like her to introduce her business herself. Actually, I think she'll do it more justice than I can.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Danielle Heaney. We have Thunder Horse Creative LLC, and we also have a subsidiary called Station Graphics. We primarily do custom apparel, decals, small scale signage. We have some unique designs as well that we do on a little bit more of a limited basis, primarily for first responders as well as equestrians. But we are a full-scale embroidery and printing shop. We can do graphics on car wrap vinyl. We can do outdoor signage, coroplast, aluminum, as well as any custom apparel needs for printing as well as embroidery. We have a couple single head machines in our shop in Cornwall Bridge, as well as a large format printer, laminator, cutter, and on-demand apparel printing there as well.
Did we use Danielle's business, Bianca, for the signage?
Yes, definitely. I mean, any opportunity to have things like that created closer to home, it also takes care of the shipping cost. I mean, that was one thing to me, you know, I can have these caps done anywhere. And yes, sometimes that can be cheaper, but then you have the shipping, and the shipping these days, I mean, it just will, you know, and why not support a young business, you know, and a young family, you know, to make a living out here. I think that's so phenomenally important.
Good. Danielle, how long have you been in Cornwall?
I've been in Cornwall now for about 15 years.
It counts.
Steve actually was born and raised in Cornwall.
Excellent. And how long has the business been going? That's what I was trying to ask.
We first started launching that in our home in about 2015. And at that point, we were just doing small scale custom graphics. We got the first embroidery machine about 3 years ago and was still running it out of the house. Then we started slowly expanding. Also, we're adding a child to the mix and realizes we needed to expand out of the house, where we ended up with the shop in Cornwall Bridge, and we're able to add additional machinery, a much larger format printer at that point, and really it's just been expanding from there. We've been in that building for not quite a year and a half at this point.
Are you carrying your own inventory in terms of apparel? And when Bianca talks about hats, did she purchase them and then bring them to you?
We have several suppliers that we work with, so we're able to source just about anything. We keep small stock on hand in the building, things that we tend to go through quite frequently. Anything beyond that, we will typically source for the client and order as needed from our wholesalers.
And is your business most, sorry.
No, you're about to ask the same question, Simon. So go ahead.
Or you can ask it much better than I can. I was going to ask, is your business mostly regional or is it national, or how would you describe it?
Mostly regional. One of the specialties I tend to work with a lot is equestrians. We will build custom stores for the barn themselves, where it operates a little bit like an online storefront, and then we will fulfill the order and hand deliver it to that barn. Steve tends to work a lot with various fire departments. We've done a few things for like the Connecticut firefighters as far as their breast cancer t-shirt campaigns, things like that. We do have a few clients further away. We have a link to the military at Fort Eustis, so we've done quite a few caps for their waterfront program, actually, as well as a couple dog clubs that we know in southern states. So it's a little bit of a mix, honestly. We try to keep it a little more regional, again, so we can have a little bit higher level of customer service and hand deliver things whenever possible. But thankfully, with internet and storefronts, we can work at a pretty large scale.
Good for you. Oscar, did I cover your question or not?
No, you got it. I'm thrilled to know the business is there. I mean, I think there's so much going on in the area with the schools and the clubs and the different camps and things. If, you know, we should make, I'm sure you're doing it already, but to the extent that we're not promoting it to particularly these seasonal activities where they get t-shirts and caps and bags and you name it, we should be steering all that business your way.
Absolutely. I mean, this really is almost the model for the sort of business that Cornwall should be embracing.
Mhm.
You know, something you can do on a national basis from, you know, building in West Cornwall. I think it's pretty impressive. Does anyone else have any questions? Silent crew tonight.
I'd just like to say, I think it's really great. Danielle and Steve have taken this on. Steve is also a full-time firefighter in
Thank you.
the city of Greenwich, Connecticut. So it shows the extent to which young people want to live here and bring their various talents to make this a great place. And they've got a very cute son, Finley. And again, it's great to have this service in town. And I was glad to hear my wife has placed a large order for the farm there before I did. So that was good. So anyway, good to see you folks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. And obviously we're trying to do what we can to help.
Thank you.
Good. That I think addresses the formal agenda tonight. Does anyone have anything they want to raise?
No.
One's got lockjaw tonight. Okay. The last question, which has been raised by a couple of people, is whether our next meeting should be held in person or by Zoom. Zoom, of course, has the enormous advantage that if members of the commission or others who want to join are not present, they can participate electronically by Zoom. We can do that at the library, but obviously it's not as straightforward as having a formal Zoom call like this. But I do think it is important that we all get together in the same room from time to time. So those are really my thoughts on whether or not we should have a physical meeting for June. Does anyone else have any comments?
I mean, I like the idea from a meeting standpoint to continue to the Zoom, but maybe it'd be nice to do a get together of all of us that would be, I don't know, not breakfast, that'd be tough, but I don't know. Some in-person hang could be nice.
Right. And I agree. And it'd be nice to have Neil present too.
Yeah. So
It does so much.
That's a nice idea, but you kind of said something, Simon, that I think is true, like just sort of from time to time is a nice idea as well. So I don't know if there's, you know, once or twice a year that we meet at the library. It just does feel like it allows for a different type of meeting face to face.
Well, what do people think of having the meeting at the library in person in June? Stick up your hands if you support that. 3, 4, 5, 6. So it sounds like looks like we've got a majority that have the next meeting at the library. So
As long as you have a Zoom option.
yes, we'll try and set that up. But
Yeah.
again, from our past efforts, as you know, that's not been 100% successful.
I do like the fact that we extended this Cornwall official meeting to a street corner in Brooklyn was, I think, a first. So I think we did have a P&Z member zoom in from Puerto Rico, kind of cruel in the middle of winter. But anyway, it's a good tool, but I agree that a lot of places are trying to do like every fourth meeting in person or third meeting just to get the in-person stuff going too. But it is fun when people can make a meeting, otherwise they miss because they're, everybody's busy.
I agree. And we also had Arnon from Morocco, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Morocco.
of months,
That's
yeah.
long distance in there.
Maybe their long distance record so far. Okay, good. Do any members of the public have anything they'd like to bring to our attention? Okay, hearing nothing, I will assume that's a negative. Can I have a proposal from the government? I'll propose that. Who would
And
like to
should we
second
have-
that?
So should we have the next meeting in person?
Yes,
Okay.
no, that was voted on, yes. Can I just
I
have a
have-
second for an adjournment and then we can,
Second.
Second.
good, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Good night.
Aye.
Thanks, Danielle. And
1
Steve.
hour, 36 minutes, a new record.
Wow.
That is a new record.
It was a
Thank
Zoom
you.
meeting.
Thanks, everyone. You can get some
Good
going
night.
again before it gets dark.
Yeah.